Good morning, my loves. Happy Sunday. Yes, it is an extremely bright, beautiful day here at the lake. The sun's just coming up. It's not quite 6 a.m. So today's topic is very close to my heart. It's the 1-year anniversary of the passing of one of my best friends. And Gary was quite the man. He was my ex-father-in-law's one of his best friends. And he became my mentor. He was just the best. We were friends from 2008, I guess, 2008, 2009 to 2023. And he saw me through some rough stuff. I saw him through some stuff too, because best friends do that. But he was one of the, what was at the time one of the 6 best friends, now it's 5, because we lost him. He was an amazing man, an amazing attorney, and a senior grandmaster tennis champion. And he taught me a lot. When you go into anything, you go in it to win. That's how he went into every trial. Every case he took, you go in it to win. Doesn't matter if you know your opponent, you don't know them. If you like them, you don't like them. Not the point. You owe it to yourself to win, to be prepared, and to win. And that's what he always did. And he always won. He was good. He never did anything deceitful or underhanded. He always was, he had the finest reputation. Everybody loved him and respected him. So if you're good, if you know your stuff, if you're prepared, you don't need to cheat. You don't need to name call or act out because you're ready for him. And you've got this. When I was diagnosed with cancer, I got, after I knew he was in trial, I waited till later in the day and I gave him a call. He knew I had an appointment and I told him what was going on. And I was crying and he said, knock it off. We have to have a battle plan. We got to go into this. We got to be ready because we're going to win. You don't have a choice. You have to win. And he was right. Now when he came to see me, we were both emotional and he held me when I cried. And he was just a sweetheart, but he was right. It's about the attitude. You have to be in it to win it. Nothing meant more to him than his family, his daughter, his son, and his grandkids. And I had a granddaughter, and we were talking about kids once. And I said, I really miss not being there for my granddaughter because I lived in a different state. Getting to play Candyland and Uno and all the fun little games, Old Maid and all that stuff. And he said, would you let her win? I said, of course you let her win. They're babies. You always let them win. He said, no, you don't. You're not doing them any favors letting them win. You have to teach them to lose. It's okay if they win once, if you let them win once so they understand winning. But after that, everybody's on their own. They have to learn to lose with grace and dignity. That's the problem with kids today. They don't know how to lose. And that's true. He was right. People don't know how to lose. If you give it your all, you give it your best. When you lose, you're disappointed, of course. But you gave it your all. You did everything within your power to win. For yourself, if you have a client, whatever. You did your best, and that's something to be proud of. Your opponent outplayed you, plain and simple. But teach your kids how to lose, that it's okay to lose. He taught his kids and his grandkids it's okay to lose. He and I would play tennis. Now, my ex-husband played tennis. We played tennis in St. Louis every day unless there was ice out. I love tennis. I am horrible, but I guess I'm not that horrible because I would tend to beat my ex. And my ex it would infuriate him because he played tennis all through high school, all through college, all through law school, and now this novice who knows nothing would beat him. And I would just laugh, and it would make him so mad. I mean, he would throw his racket. It was not pretty when he lost. So Gary and I would go play tennis, and he knew how my ex was. And he said, I'm not going to let you win. And I said, I don't want you to let me win. And he would take it easy on me because he was really good up until like the last shot. And then he would smoke me, and then he would laugh. And he would say, I'm not going to let you win. He said, I don't care how good a friend you are, how much I love you, I'm not going to throw the game for you. I don't do that. And I'm glad he didn't, because it kept me on my toes. He was, no matter what he went into, he went in it to win. He had some really serious health issues starting in, 2015? I want to say 2015. And he came to me, told me everything going on. He was one of my Reiki patients because I still have a healing practice. And he said, I'm not giving up. I'm in it to win. I said, I know. A couple of close calls. He was in the hospital in intensive care a couple of times, really scary times. But they didn't think that he would last long. But he didn't pass till 23. He was in it to win. He played fair. He played a clean game. And he did well. So he called me a few days before he passed. And, I mean, we knew he was passing. And he called and, hey, what are you doing? And, just the usual conversation. And he said, the game's almost over. I said, yeah, I kind of know. And he kind of we were FaceTiming, and he kind of got quiet, and he kind of looked off. And he said, I don't want to do this. I said, I know. I said, but you're not losing. He said, oh, I'm not losing. No, I'm not losing. And he said, but he told me he loved me and how much I meant to him and how much our friendship meant. And I told him I loved him too and how much he meant to me, which he knew. And he said, I'm going to be up there watching everything you're doing. And I don't want you to let anybody push you around. I want you to win. I promise I will do my best and I will play to win. And I said, hey, when you're up there and you're playing tennis with God, don't throw the game. He said, not on your life. And he died, I would say, within 24 hours of that conversation. And a few months after that, I spoke with his daughter and shared some of the stories that she didn't know anything about. She knew one side of him and I knew a completely different side. He opened up to me. And he loved his family so much. And for his family, he played to win. He was a great provider. He adored his family. His kids were everything to him. His priorities were his law practice and his family. He loved them very, very much, and he took very good care of them. He was a great guy, and I miss him terribly. He was, just a little side note, my dad at the time was still alive and in horrible health. And, when my ex left, I moved into a house, a beautiful house in Forest Park that was 3-story. I love big houses. And it was a beautiful house in Forest Park. It was 3-story, 5 bedrooms, big old rambling home. It was a historic home. And my dad said, I'm sorry I'm not there to check the house for you. And I said, Daddy, it's okay. I think I know a safe house. Next thing I know, here's Gary coming over to check the house to be sure it's a safe house. And, he checked the backyard. He checked the windows. He checked the doors. He did all of that to make sure that I was safe. So he did that. He was a friend of my dad, which was very, very kind and thoughtful. He was a good guy. And he knew a couple of my other best friends. And that was nice, that we all had this friendship. He was a wonderful man who I miss very much. I don't think a day goes by I don't think about him in some capacity because I can hear him in my ear about something. He was a good guy. But just remember, when you go into something, go in it to win. No matter what you're doing, is about attitude. If you have cancer, go in it to win. If you have a chronic illness, every day you're in it to win. If you're taking your boards, your exams, you're in it to win. Go in, be prepared, be ready, give it your all. And you've got it. But go in it to win it. Never throw the game.